Oh, praise the one who paid my debt and raised his life up from the dead. Oh, praise the one who paid my debt and raised his life up from the dead.
Welcome everybody today to my weekly Bible message, and before I get into the word, I'm going to say something here today. Today is April 15th, and this was the day is my grandma's birthday, and you may not know, or those of you who are family and do know, that she died January 29th. Today is her birthday, and we're going to celebrate today. It's a very good day. And even though I won't be able to celebrate it with her, I miss her a lot. I miss going there and just hugging her, coming there. I used to go there and hug a big hug, kiss after school. And then my mom would, later on, would take us home, and then before we leave, give her another big hug, kiss. And I just love that. I miss kissing her. Usually people think that, best kiss are from girls. Yes, but the best kiss I've ever gotten is from my mom and my grandma. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. But what I want to do here today is talk about divorce. Now, you're probably wondering, wait a minute, Big Sean, this is supposed to be your last message. Well, I decided that, I know it's going to be an 11-week study, but I decided that, sum it up a little bit to get to the main key points of what's trying to be said. I talked about the one, how you met, learning love, how to learn to love that person or whatever. And then, the wedding day, romantic love and wedding day. And then if it doesn't work out, you get a divorce. But the reason why I'm talking about divorce right now is because, say you guys get older, right, and you get a divorce. Talk about divorce first, and then my next message will be on a Wednesday night. That message will generally talk about if you guys do not want to end up in a divorce situation, how can you keeping that fire, how can you keep the fire lit? Talk about this first, and I'll talk about it because this is what divorce is, and I don't want divorce, and I'm going to keep the fire lit, that's how I'm going to do it. I do the divorce first, then keeping the fire lit. Alright, it's Matthew chapter 5, verse 31 through 32, and I'm going to read it today. I'm going to talk to you a little bit later. I have actually an audio clip I want you to hear too. And talk about how I know divorce also, because it's a subject I know all too well. Now let's begin here. It says here, furthermore, it has been said, whoever divorces his wife, let him give her a certificate. Jesus has just taught them concerning the sin of adultery, and taught that it begins in the heart. Point. If a man greedily desires to commit an evil, but cannot only because he does not get the opportunity to do so, he is still guilty because it would have done it if he had the chance. You think, well, I didn't do it. But if you had the chance and you knew you would do it, it's the same thing. The same thing. People think, just because you'd actually do it. And it says, someone says, if I am looked at as being guilty of performing that of the act, I might as well just do it. And it says, what is the big deal anyway? Why not just enjoy it? People will say, But Solomon gave insight and some very soul instruction concerning the sin. Proverbs 5:30, verse 3 through 5. The lips of the immoral woman drip honey, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But is the end of she is bitter in warm wood, sharp as two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her steps lay hold of the fires of hell. And the fact is, the fruit of such a sin has has tremendous effect on this life and in the eternal. First, in this life, you can end up losing everything you worked so hard to attain. Proverbs 5 verse 8 through 12. Remove your way far from her, and do not go near the door of her house, lest you give your honor to others and your years to the cruel one. Last, aliens be filled with your wealth, and your labors go to the house of a foreigner, and you mourn at least when your flesh and your body is consumed, and say, how I have hated instruction, my heart despises correction. And it says, fact, you end up giving your honor, your others, and your years to the cruel one. Point, you will end up spending the prime of your life working for others. Key, when the divorce proceeds to clear up, you will end up giving your wealth to someone else. In 21st century language, lawyer fees, alimony, child support will be paid. Also, your divorce, you marry the woman and end up taking care of her kids and losing your own. Now, what does that mean, you'll be losing your own? Because you're not going to be living in a house anymore with your kids. And the thing is, when your son or your daughter gets older, it's maybe a little now, maybe a long time away, but it's not that far away. I remember I was 10 years old, living in our first house in Ontario, and now look at me now, we're living in Merloma, third house, 19 years old. So it goes up pretty quick, you guys. And the thing is, though, is that when they grow up, they go to prom. You know, your son and your daughter, you go to prom. And, you know, the family always takes pictures, you know, of you and the cute little couple. But the thing, though, is, Dad's not going to be there to witness that. You know, for the wedding, Dad may not even be invited of anything. You know, when the bride and the husband and the groom go out there, and the mom says, and the guy and the father and the guy who is woman, and it's going to be her mother and I, but it's not going to be you. It's going to be the other guy, and you're lucky if you're invited. You might be in the back if invited at all, because that's the cost of a divorce. You lose everything. You lose everything you've grown up and you obtained in your life. You lose it all. You lose it all. I don't think it's worth it. It's not worth it. I don't think it's worth it at all. And it says that you mourn, at least in the flesh and the body are consumed, would be groaning, regret, and end of your life. Your kids grow up, graduate, as I said, get married. Well, you're not involved, often not welcome. See, you know, we do not. Me and my dad have still good relationship. My parents are divorced, but my dad and I have still good relationships, so we didn't have a problem with that. But most kids are not like that. Are not like that at all. Most of the times, one goes one parent and one parent leaves, and you don't see them forever. You know, you don't have any good relationship with your kids or your grandkids. Sadly, some of the other men in your children's grandfather, for what? Also, they refer to contacting a venereal disease that consumes your body. Again, what is the big deal? What is wrong with the little extra activity on the side? That is why. And as you end up losing everything you work so hard to gain, and even worse, you stand before God and you're a judge, ultimately going to hell. Hebrews 13:4, marriage is honorable among all and bad, undefiled, but fornicators and adulterers God will judge. Today, divorce is presented as a normal process of eliminating pain or problems. Don't give up. Don't give up. Do not let yourselves get to this point. There's many things you can do to keep the fire lit. We're going to get into Wednesday night. But for right now, do not. You want to be a part of your kid's life, fight.